All right, welcome in. Welcome back to the Bears Film Room show. My name is Dave, cover the Bears for SM. Joined by my good friend, also Chicago Bears writer for SM, Ficky. And we have a really, really fun show for you today. We're going to go ahead and do you can see it on the screen, 2025 Chicago Bears tier list. I believe we did this last year as well. So to kind of, we're going to jump right in. It could be a longer video, so we want you guys to obviously just be able to hop right in. But I want to go through, first of all, the criteria that we have. So Ficky, first of all, we have tier one. Tier one is going to be the most important. What that means, players or personnel, because we're going to have coaches on here on this tier list that's going to be as far as the impact goes. So players or personnel who are the foundation of the Bears 2025 success. Without them, no playoffs, and of course, no Super Bowl, if that's obviously even possible. Tier two, high impact players. How that is, players who can single-handedly shift games or at least quarters, significantly elevate team performance, whether it be a half or just kind of throughout the game. Tier three, solid contributors. This one is I think this one is cut and dry for the most part. Reliable players who perform their roles well, but lack elite impact or game-changing ability. So guys that just get the dirty yards or, end up with 8-9 tackles, right? The dirty work. So tier four is going to be depth players. This is either young rookies, rotational players with potential to contribute, but not yet in major roles, or just are, obviously bounce from team to team and just get those reps in to help relieve some of the other guys. Tier five, this one will be a fun tier. I'm not sure who we could put in there, but it's going to be wild cards. Players with high potential and high impact, but there's significant uncertainty, capable of a big impact, or they can be a major disappointment. Tier six is non-factors. That's the last tier. This one is interesting, but players or personnel with minimal expected impact due to limited roles or just low production. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up these tiers in a little bit, but Ficky, I know we kind of talked about it. You have any questions, anything else you want to say before we kind of hop right into this tier list for the Bears?
I feel like some of these are going to be easy. I do feel like that, but there's definitely going to be some good conversation about some players, especially within like that, second to third level, right? Determining, and the wild card is also going to be interesting. I have some people already in my mind, but it'll be interesting to see who you think is that boom or bust potential. So I'm excited.
Right. No, I'm excited as well. We're going to pull up our screen here, Fick. Yep, you got it. Perfect. So let me, I thought I had it. Share. There we go. So this is, I guess I can bring it up a little bit. Let's see what it looks like. You can see I have a ton of players here. So many players. So how this works, again, most important, high impact, solid contributors, depth, wild cards, non-factors. Again, if we need to, we can kind of brush up on, I think we're going to probably go to as far as when we try to put these players in tiers and coaches. And there's 64 of these little mini hits. First of all,
can you make it a little bit bigger? It looks like Mr. James is saying, can we make it just a tad bit? Yeah. You're going to have to be navigating like crazy. Just heads up, but
yeah,
appreciate that.
So let me see here. Maybe we can do that. How is that on YouTube, guys?
It's just so many people. We're doing like basically the whole roster. So.
And as we get more with these players, we'll be able to, go through them. So, and then we'll go through here. But as you can see, I took the depth chart, the roster that's on the Chicago Bears website. This is also a public tier making list. I made it public. So it's Bears Film Room. It's just the Chicago Bears 2025 tier list. You guys can do these yourselves. So we're going to post this at the end of the show on our all our socials, of course. But I hope this is big enough. I really can't go too much bigger.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we won't have the players on there.
Yeah. Where you had it at was good, I think.
Okay. So I'm also old. Yeah. Well, if you have glasses, put them on or something. Help us out.
The big we're pod. You need to get those glasses on for sure for this one.
Yeah. We're super stoked. Like I said, this one was a long time in the making, but I want to start here first, though. Most important, I'm just going to throw Caleb Williams on there. We all know he's going to be on this list. We all knew he was going to be the most important. Quarterback is the most important position in the entire NFL in this league or in this game. Any other thoughts here?
Nope. That is it sad for me to say wild card? No, I'm going to keep him at most important. I think he did a solid job last year. He's most likely, hopefully, fingers crossed, going to improve and be the franchise guy. So, and like you said, it's the NFL. The number one position, the most important position, doesn't matter what team you're on, is the guy under center. So that is a perfect spot for Mr. Caleb Williams.
Yeah, and again, the Bears aren't doing they're not doing anything if he is not who we think he can be. Even last year, I think there was moments where if you had better coaching, better decision making at end of games, the Bears probably win 2 to 3 more games at least. But again, we're going to put Caleb Williams. I want to get him out the way because he's probably the easiest, maybe outside of Ben Johnson as well. But as far as players or personnel who are the foundation of the Bears' 2025 success, and I think everyone in the comments, wherever you're listening, agree that this one is the most important. So he'll be at the top of the tier. I'm going to go ahead and start here next. Let's see here. I guess we could put Ben Johnson up here as well.
I think, it's easy.
I think that's pretty important.
100%.
What are you thinking?
100%, because we just lost our head coach last year because of how important that position is. You just said it yourself. We lost 2 to 3 games because of coaching decisions. So him alone can gain us 2 to 3 wins, and that's huge in the NFL. So absolutely, that is the pecking order of any team: quarterback, head coach. And there it is. I don't think this is to anyone's surprise.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's go ahead and move up next here. Some of these guys I can't even remember. I have the list here though, thankfully. Let's go ahead and let's do Colston Loveland, rookie tight end out of Michigan. I think this is a fun one to kind of start with as well, because I know the first 2 up here, these are just so important regarding Ben and Caleb. But Colston, he has not he's not really contributed in minicamp. He's nursing that surgery, the injury that he had last his college season. So for me, I think he's almost a wild card in my opinion, because I think it's not boom or bust. Again, what is wild card? I made these tiers, dude.
It's kind of like boom or bust.
Potential, but significant uncertainty. God, if that don't fit the bill.
I think that's fair, because we just don't know with him. It's either that or we assume he's going to be a solid contributor, but there's just so much uncertainty because he is a rookie and he's still injured. Now, we all know that he'll be ready to go week 1. He'll be ready to go training camp. But as of right now, there's no more uncertainty than him and the other rookie that we drafted in the second round, which I'm sure we'll get to here at some point. So, yeah, I'm putting him in the wild card bucket, and I'm okay with that.
Oh, I agree. I think wild card's really, really good for him as well. Colston Loveland.
Just to say, he doesn't have to be like, he does have a starter in front of him. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like he has to be, or he's tight end 1. So his snaps and, his targets, we don't know any of that because technically he's second in his position on the depth chart. So yeah, I think it's a good one.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and go with it. I'm pulling up my list of names here for the Bears photos, because I honestly cannot remember some of these guys.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot.
So let's stick with the rookie class though, because I think there was Luther. These are all the updated photos as well, which I find just fascinating here. But I'm going to go ahead and bring Luther Burden to the table. He had a very, very funny post today. It was the NFL official account on Twitter. They went ahead and posted the Ravens corners, listed them by name, had a photo, because I think they obviously signed Jair Alexander, former Packers corner. And I think they have a great cornerback room. It's
the whole secondary.
It's pretty exceptional. The secondary is nuts.
Malachi Starks. Yeah.
However, if you go on Twitter, you go on my account, I posted a screenshot of his comment, Luther Burden, and he goes, "Bear down."
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the post at all. Just in there, it says "bear down."
But the Bears play.
We can say we do play them.
They play them in October, week 7, maybe. Correct me there if I'm wrong, but it's gonna be a fun tweet to kind of I bet there's going to be some people going back to it depending on how this game goes.
100%.
So
I'm sure that one's bookmarked like crazy.
yeah,
I think he's got to be wild card though, Dave. Right? Same,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
it's the exact same situation as Colson Loveland.
Yeah,
guy's injured. He's a rookie. He's not first on the depth chart. Who knows? Doesn't mean they can't have good seasons, but we literally have no idea. We don't even know what their target share is going to be because they're not even starters technically.
Yeah, his is even more interesting though, because I know he's a wild card, but his injury I don't think is as serious as the recovery, because Colson Love is actually recovering from that. So
thing is, we don't even know about his injury. I just did an article on this on Sports Mockery talking about it. His soft tissue issue. It might be a quad, but
yeah,
even based off the average for like a hammy or quad soft tissue, he's been out longer. Now, some of that is during times where they're literally out, like right now. So you don't, he could be healed and we just have no idea. But it is like a little bit concerning, like just tiny bit, that he didn't get any snaps. He's been out for like 6, 7, 8 weeks, I think. So, but I think he'll be back by training camp, as Ben Johnson said.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think he's fine, but it is interesting.
I do too. It's just interesting.
I think training camp will be the time to really tell when it comes to these guys. So
for sure,
I'm gonna make this just a little bit bigger as well. There we go.
For sure.
Okay. We got those rookies out there, but I'm gonna go ahead and continue here with the other rookie. Let's see if we can find Ozzy. He's on here.
Where's Big Boy? I actually know what he looks like. I think he has scroll right. I don't see him.
Ozzy. Is he over here? There he is.
There he is. Literally second to last over there. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's bring him up here. Most important.
It's going to be interesting. Where are you putting him? I know where I'm putting him.
I want to hear you first.
I think he's depth. I do not think he is going to start. I think it's going to be Braxton Jones, but I think he's going to be a valuable depth piece, and that he will maybe start a game or two just because offensive line gets injured all the time. But I have to put him at depth. It is a rookie tackle. Braxton Jones, I did an article on this one, Sports Mockery as well, so make sure to check that out. But, I mean, Braxton Jones grades out as mid. Whether you like it or not, like that's good enough to start. I think he was actually the 16th tackle last year. So that's not bad enough to lose your starting job, and it probably wouldn't be to a rookie. The only reason is if his injury is worse than what we think it is.
Sorry, I think my internet was a little bit unstable there. You where did you have him at? Sorry,
I had him at depth. No, you're good. I had him at depth.
So depth, young or rotational players with potential to contribute, but not yet in major roles. Tier 3 is solid contributors. It is reliable players who perform the role well, but lack elite impact or game-changing ability. So I'm going to see if I can convince you here. I think it's going to be solid contributor because he could start, man. And I think there is a chance that he could have a high impact. I don't want to go that, drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I want to go solid contributor.
See, I think it's the opposite. I think Braxton Jones is solid because it's like not super high impact. And I think because Ozzy's a rookie, he's right behind him. But I still think Braxton's going to win. But I can understand why you want to flip-flop. Like, it makes sense. He's somewhere in that range. So I'm okay with both. This would just make it assume to me that Braxton Jones is not going to be the starting left tackle, and I believe he's going to be at least week one.
So for this instance, we won't flip a coin, but as far as tiebreaker goes, it's like a jump ball. Where's the arrow pointing? We'll start with me on this one. You get the next one because we're going to debate. If we had Jack here, he would be the final. He would be like the deciding vote.
Of course, that's scary. Yeah.
Jump ball arrow is me, so I'm going to go solid contributor.
Okay,
and
that's cool.
We'll leave it there. Okay. Any other of the rookie class? No, we can just
Shamar
go
Turner.
Turner. Yeah, good luck finding him. Hold on, actually, I have the name. Shamar Turner. Okay, I know what he looks like now. Okay. I'm almost positive that's Shamar.
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him.
Hold on. I have the names here listed for it. No, he has earrings in his. Sorry, hold on. See if you can find earrings.
No, they're so tiny. That's nothing against you. It's just like they all look like the same person.
No, I'm trying to find the one that might be him. Oh no, I found him. Here we go. Actually, low key, these guys kind of.
Oh my gosh!
Am I
distance? No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to tell from here. Okay.
Yeah, I knew he had earrings though. I was like, wait a second, Shamar Turner, rookie. I don't know. Got to go back to my players with high potential, and high impact. Depth is younger rotational players.
Yeah, I think
that's probably where I would go.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to know how many. I know there's a lot of Bears fans. I wonder if people are like, "Oh yeah, that's Shamar Turner." We don't have names on there.
It's harder until you start to see like them on the sideline of game. Like when you start to get
press conferences too.
Press conferences. That's where, because again, this is a sport where they wear their helmet 90% of the time, so you can't even tell.
Yeah,
out there. So
yeah,
they got to be in the in front of, like, for example, Ozzy's had multiple press conferences. Colston Loveland, Luther Burden have had multiple press conferences. Everyone knows Caleb and Ben. They've also had multiple press conferences. I think Shamar Turner's only had one. So
yeah. Well, all right. Well, let's go ahead and bring up. We'll just do Joe Thuney.
Oh, that's
most important.
I might go most important, man.
Me
just
too.
Because of his impact of the offensive line in general. Like, I think his leadership, he's a winner. Like, he's basically the Caleb Williams of the offensive line.
So remember, I'm tier 1, most important, just to give I hate repeating it, but I think it's important because I want to maintain our, the criteria, making sure it fits. But I think if there's a player here outside of, the top 2, Caleb and Ben Johnson, Joe Thuney's impact and the fit for most important tier is like perfect. So first of all, players are personnel who are the foundation of the Bears' 2025 success. Without them, the team's playoff hopes collapse. But here's another one: franchise impact. What that means: central to the team's identity and success. Every drive, offensively. So for me, the team's identity. I mean, he's already shaping that offensive line room, the leadership impact.
Also, wasn't there something on there about the Super Bowl? Right? I'm pretty sure he's the only Super Bowl winner on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, he has more Super Bowl rings than the Bears in the last
ever. Yeah. He's got like 4.
Hilarious.
So yeah.
I
think that alone, 100%. You don't just stumble upon 4 Super Bowls. You're impacting those teams, right?
Yeah,
it's hard to win in the NFL.
So let's see here. Let's go Jaquan Brisker. I think this will be a fun one.
Okay, this might be a hot take, but I'm putting him as a solid contributor only because availability is the best ability, and he's been injured from the head injuries a lot. So, for example, you asked me 2 years ago, I'm thinking, oh, this guy was more of a high impact. But after last season where you barely played, right? It's unfortunate. Now, we'll see how he bounces back, and I could be wrong, and hopefully so, which is fine with me. But as of right now, he's a solid starter in that sense because of it's like the same way I'd view Tevin, right? Tevin's solid, but he was great when he was out there, but he was injured all the time. So I can't keep you in the great category because your impact isn't that big because you're not impacting every game. So I got to put him as solid. Oh, muted, Dave.
Sorry about that. So you said solid contributor, reliable players who perform their roles well, but lacked elite impact or game-changing ability. I know the arrows, the jump ball arrows, your way. I'm going to go, I would have went high impact because I think he has the ability to shift games sometimes if he can stay healthy. But I get why you're saying solid contributor.
I agree. Talent-wise, it's high impact, but it's like, bro, you're just out so much. You aren't impacting the season as much because you're not out there. So.
He's got to prove it. So now the jump ball arrow is
to you
towards me.
Which makes it interesting. I do like that.
I think it's fun.
See where it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Santos, let's just have some fun here.
Start picking some people. Let's go.
Kickers are important.
They definitely are. We had at least 4 post-game discussions about this guy alone. So yeah, they're definitely important.
Even I want to bring up like Allen Robinson. He just had he was on a podcast and he was asked about 2018, and he believes that if Cody Parkey hits that kick, they are going to go to the Super Bowl because he talked about Fangio versus Sean McVay, that it was such a mismatch and they felt like they had their number, that they were going to beat the Rams no matter what. And so, anyways, kickers matter is what I'm trying to say here. Santos, I think there's a high impact here.
I agree. 100% agree. Look, we ended the season last year due to this guy, right? He had a game-winning field goal. So it's obviously important. Kicking is hella important. And it's one of those positions where if your guy's good, you're like, whatever. But when they're bad, you know about it because you understand the impact it has on games because you're leaving points literally on the board. And that's huge. It's basically a turnover when they miss kicks. So, I agree.
And again, high impact tier is players who can single-handedly shift games or significantly elevate team performance. I don't know if he can elevate team performance. However, he could win games. And Jake Alexander on Facebook can't put a guy who can't make a 50-yarder as high impact. First of all, I think his game winner against Green Bay was
it was 53.
50-something? 53? I know that's not a lot. I get it. He doesn't have the biggest leg, but he is accurate. And I think Ficky and I both were clamoring, at least midway through the season, especially when he was getting blocked, and it wasn't all his fault. But I think there is you wish that he had a bigger leg. You wish he had a kicker that could hit those 60 pluses. However, at the same time, the reason we went with Cody Parkey, and then we had a huge kicking controversy and tryouts was because it's hard to find someone that's at least accurate and consistent. And Santos is everything but that.
You're more likely to find
of that. So
you're more likely to find big leg kickers than accurate kickers nowadays.
Yeah.
The kick game is getting better, and I agree with this comment. Like, still be looking for a future kicker next season. Absolutely, you should always be looking for upgrades in every position. So me and Dave are definitely on board with that.
On the reliability or the high impact tier, there's dependability, reliable week to week, minimal drop off risk, and I think that easily meets it with him because he does hit his kicks, his extra points. So
and that's what now 2 seasons in a row,
and it can swing games whether you like it or not. Games sometimes that come down to the kicker. So
absolutely.
Okay. Austin Booker.
Ball's in your court, though, so I think I might be all right. He did not have that great of a rookie season. Doesn't mean he can make a bounce back.
It's in my era, right? I need to put that up.
It is.
So I'm going to have it pointing at me. If it's pointing at you, it's going to be at you, so I'll remember. So my chapstick is pointing at me.
Okay, there we go. I was going to say, he didn't have a great rookie season last year. Does it mean he'll have a better one? Hopefully. He's a little undersized for defensive ends for Dennis Allen's type of defenses, like maybe by 15 to 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that and the additions they've added on the defensive line, even though it's not perfect yet, I guess depth, but I actually kind of want to say non-factor. I don't know if he's actually going to do much this year. And it sucks to say that because we just drafted him. But basically, I'll let you pick because the ball's in your court. But I'm
non-factor.
Yeah, let me get that criteria.
Non-factor criteria for tier number 6. Description is players or personnel with minimal expected impact due to limited roles or low production. And I'm with you, man. I don't want to give up my arrow for this guy.
All right.
So,
but look, he only had 1.5 sacks last year, and he didn't have
very disappointing. Very disappointing.
I knew he was a project. I get it. It's a 4th rounder. Probably needs to put on weight and whatnot. But
give me this. I mean, he was making some plays in preseason.
He was,
and then just disappeared. So Dennis Allen would be interesting.
I think his first 2 weeks is when he got the sack and a half. We're like, oh, Austin Booker's him, and then nah.
But we can only go off the tape. And I'm not going to go off college. That's what happens when you're a rookie. You get all that optimism as a rookie when you're heading into the league, and you get that luxury of, hey, we're going to go off what you did in college and how that might translate. Right now, we saw last year, and again, coaching matters. Dennis Allen, I'm excited to see what he can do with that defense and maybe elevate some of these guys like an Austin Booker. Now, but I agree with you. Non-factor as of now.
Oh, did I lose Dave? Oh, no. I lost Dave. Oh, you back? Okay, you're back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
I can't lose you on this episode because you got everything that I need. So
That's true.
no, what
That's
I was
true.
gonna say. What I was gonna say.
My internet, man. Let me switch it over here real quick,
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
You keep going.
I was gonna say, even though we have Austin Booker as a non-factor, or anyone that falls into the non-factor category, that doesn't mean that they're non-factors forever. I think this is like a snapshot analysis of the 2025 season. Like Booker next year, because we see that there's late bloomers in the NFL all the time, right? Think of like Adam Thielen, practice squad forever, and then special teams, and then became a long career. So it can happen. It doesn't mean that these guys are non-factors, wild cards, or whatever forever. But in this moment, based off the information we have from the previous season, I feel like it's fair to put him there. Hopefully it proves us wrong, though. I just want to give a preface there so people aren't like, oh, they hate him. I'm like, no, we just got to go off the tape.
It's true. Am I here?
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. Internet provider will hear from me after the show. Okay. Kevin Byard.
I'm going to say, it's crazy. So, yes, he's old. But you look at his career, he's always been a top safety. He even now, whether you want to take PFF for just truths, like 100% what it is, he still graded out really, really high. I think he was a top 3 safety PFF grade last year. Now, did he get as much turnovers or the exciting plays? No. But did he shut down his half of the field most games? Absolutely. He can't be most important, but I actually think he's high impact, even for his age, because he's been not only last year was he good. Every year of his career, he's been great. And so I would put him in high impact. If you want to put him solid, that's fair. But I do think, like, if we're comparing Brisker, the other safety, versus Kevin Byard in their career right now, Kevin is definitely higher.
Okay. So you said high impact players who can single-handedly shift games, game-changing plays, consistently deliver big plays, fills a premium position. You said high impact though, right?
No. Now hearing a high impact, because he doesn't make that many game-changing plays. He's a really, really great player though. Because that's the thing. Like you can shut down coverage, but it doesn't mean you're making a play. The ball's just not thrown to your side.
So reliable player. This is tier 3, solid contributors. Reliable players who perform their roles well but lack elite impact or game-changing ability. So consistent production, starting role, limited ceiling, effective but not a star.
I feel like
primary playmaker.
I feel like he didn't get as many plays as what we'd like to see, but yeah, I'm fine with putting him in solid based off that.
Yeah, at the top though, right?
Yeah, if we're gonna do that, yeah. We can adjust this at the end, but I agree.
Yep. Okay. We'll go through a couple more. Jalen Johnson.
Oh, high impact. I don't know if he's.
We'll go through this, switch them at the end.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So Jalen Johnson, Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet is going to be solid contributor.
Okay.
Because he came off a bad season
last
year. Yeah, he came off a bad season last year. So.
Tyson Bagent.
Oh, that's easy depth. He's not even.
Yeah.
He might get in because, quarterbacks get injured, but he's not.
Yeah. Well, I think I had Case Keenum on here as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Is that Case?
Yep, right there.
Okay. I thought so. Yeah.
No, is that
right
Case?
there. I'm pretty sure I can pull it up. Case Keenum. That's Scott Daly. Never mind.
That's him. I'm trying to see. I'm like, it's so far away, but like, I don't think that's him.
Long snapper.
Non-factor. Come on, man.
Non-factor.
I mean, it's a long snapper.
Hey, Cole Clement's always there. Case Keenum's right here.
There we go.
Yeah. I was so confident in that too. Hang on. Look at them.
I mean, I don't know that one.
Most important?
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm gonna say Deb.
Yeah, I agree. If he's okay. Darnell Wright. We haven't talked about him yet.
I gotta go solid contributor. I feel like though this season he might be. I think it's gonna be his breakout season. I think this year he's gonna be high impact, but I can't make that judgment call just yet. I think he's gonna be like, Darnell Wright's one of those top 10 tackles in the NFL. That's what I'm expecting, but I don't know if that's me just going off my gut. He's improved every year, which is good to see, but it's not like he went crazy last year. He was good, But if he's going to take the next jump, he'd be high impact. But I think this is more of a gut feeling. What are you feeling?
I don't know if I want to give up my arrow here, my jump ball arrow for Darnell Wright, because I think I can see the solid contributor because he hasn't proven, but I think there's a real potential here that he makes that leap with coaching and is just getting better day by day. And I think he could be a very high impact player like next year. I'm hoping the case, but I'm not going to fight that.
Okay. I was going to say,
not going to fight with that one. Braxton Jones.
Solid. He's the definition of mid. I think it's literally the definition of solid is Braxton Jones.
Like that.
Like that is, you should be comparing solid contributors to Braxton Jones. That is.
Oh, that's funny.
Is he better or worse than Braxton Jones? That's where you put him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Some people are saying depth, like Rudy Pfaff the fourth.
Really?
I think he's going to start. I think he's starting now.
So remember, Rudy, let's go to our depth here. Young or rotational players with potential to contribute, but not yet in major roles. First of all, left tackle, very, very major.
He's also been starting. So even if he's not,
it's a premium position. Yeah, we don't want him there, but I think solid contributor. I'm cool with that. DeAndre Swift. Absolutely. Yeah, you guys keep letting us know. If we're getting anything wrong, definitely let us know.
Well, Rudy gave us a solid so far, so appreciate that. And he said his injury scares me, which is fair. We all agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
Swifty. Look, this is an interesting one.
Okay.
Because
I'm going high impact.
I've said ad nauseum. Okay, that's where I'm going. Because Ben Johnson, people love Ben Johnson because of passing and trick plays. Ben Johnson's offenses are focused on running the ball. That's what builds everything else. So if we're going to get the Ben Johnson that's been successful for the past 3 seasons plus, it's going to be because we can run the ball well. And who's our running back one? DeAndre Swift. And you've definitely been an advocate for him. I've been an advocate for him. Is he the best in the league? No. But does he deserve maybe the hate he's been getting? I don't think so. So I am good with putting him high impact.
Cool. I love it. DeAndre Swift, I think he's going to have an insane year. I think he's going to be a great receiving back. We saw last year, even in an offense that was so shockingly inconsistent and bad at times, he would just be the guy that would make a huge play. Whether, typically with his legs and his ability to really just hit the home run sometimes. So I love the high impact here for DeAndre Swift. Okay. Tyreek Stevenson. Can I say something?
I mean, yeah, it's our show.
Yes, it's our pod. These two right here next to each other, I think they're similar players as far as like their ability, like, because Luther, from what I've seen, he loves to talk. And Tyreek Stevenson, he doesn't talk anything right now, but he used to. After the Hail Mary, before that, he used to chirp. He used to
the Hail Mary, he was talking. Yeah. That's why he messed it up.
Exactly. Luther Burden, I'm not saying he's going to pull something like that. I just think their mentality are very, very similar. And I think it's been toned down with Stevenson. But Tyreek Stevenson and Luther Burden are just very similar. They just play opposite positions. And I hope that obviously Luther, LB3, he's a little bit more disciplined, I guess, than Tyreek was last year and even his rookie year. So, but that's just me because I feel like just the way they go about
they're very
things,
chirpy.
and they're like on Instagram, they always make fun of like how this is how NFL receivers tweet, this is how quarterbacks tweet, and this is how cornerbacks tweet, and they always have like similar lingo. I just see a lot of similarities between their like mentalities.
So are you thinking wild card?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I was going to go wild card because I think he has the ability to be a very, very good corner. He needs to be coached well. And I think we're going to get that.
So Tyreek is more of a press man type of corner, right? Dennis Allen will use more press man philosophies than Flus. So I wonder, this is me, the optimist hat, which I always don't have on, but I'm like, is he a solid contributor? That's where I was going to put him because I think he actually has a really, and I don't think that with a lot of these people, right? And some of these people we'll talk about, but I think that if you're talking about a big year jump, I think Tyreek Stevenson is going to make a name. He's not going to be like a top 10 corner. I'm not saying that, But you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's the Tyreek that we are expecting to see after the rookie year. So I would put him in the solid contributor. Balls in your court, literally. Where do you want to put him on your turn, on your arrow here? Muted. You're good.
Gosh, I need to go to you said solid contributor, reliable player who performs their roles well, but lack elite impact, consistent production, starting role, limited ceiling. Do I go for this one? Wild card is players with high potential, but significant uncertainty. I'm going to keep it in wild card. Because I think he could be a lockdown corner with JJ. And I think that I hope we see that. I think he has every reason to do that. All the incentives. He wants to get paid here, in the next year or two. Why not this be the year? So I have I'm going to change the arrow. Now the jump ball arrows in yours. Yep. I'm going to go wild card.
Okay. Fair enough. I can rock with that.
Dennis Allen, though, I put him on the board.
Okay.
You can see him right here.
Okay. I'm putting him high impact.
Yeah.
Only because of the pedigree that he brings. If it was just a random if it was Eberflus when we hired him, it wasn't like Eberflus had these dominant defenses. Dennis Allen has a long track record, right? The Saints may have sucked when he was a head coach. The defenses did not. And when he was the defensive coordinator, the defenses definitely did not suck. They were always top 10 in like almost every metric. And he did it with rosters that weren't necessarily like star-studded. He did it with defensive lines that didn't have real big names on it. Check notes, the Chicago Bears, right? So I think I have a little bit more high expectations because his pedigree and his resume says so. Same way I feel with Ben Johnson. He's not Ben Johnson, though, because the NFL is about offense, but I think he deserves to be in high impact. Because if he gets it right, and Ben Johnson gets it right, just from coaching alone, those two coordinators give us 4+ wins. Don't care. Raises the floor of every player on this list. Oh, did I lose Dave again? No. Oh my gosh. Oh man. But yeah, I think Dennis Allen is gonna be fantastic. Actually, I talked about this when we first hired him, or when I talked about the off-season moves that the Bears have made. My second favorite move behind Ben Johnson was Dennis Allen. And I wrote an article about Dennis Allen and his defenses. You can check it out on Sports Mockery. This man is diabolical. One of the best things about him is the way he schemes up defenses. He is very aggressive, which is the complete opposite of Flus.
Am I here?
No, you're good. You're here. You can load it up.
Okay.
You're good. Bro, and you
man.
it looked like a normal, like you're thinking. So I was like just talking. I was like, oh, I'm awesome. But
he's locked in.
I was like, he's locked in. But I was just talking about the Dennis Allen, how he should be a high impact. I'm talking about because of his philosophy and his track record. I'm so excited. As we know, Kyler Gordon is one of the best nickel blitzers in the NFL. And you know who loves sending exotic DB blitzes? Dennis Allen. And it's funny because we love Ben Johnson. He's talked about I want everything to look the same so you never know what we're doing. Dennis Allen is very similar in those philosophies. And in so much, his defense has gone more complex. When Montez Sweat was at the presser for, I think it was the beginning of OTAs, he's like, yeah, I would say his defense is complex. It's a little bit difficult. And that's what I love to hear. Because if it's difficult for the players, that means it's going to be difficult for the opposing team. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Cool. I am as well. High impact. I think it's a good one for him. I mean, he's the DC for God's sake. So he better be good.
That's a good one. He's the DC. I like that.
Yes. Okay. Here's what we're looking at right now. How are we doing on time? Not bad.
Yeah, not too
minutes.
bad.
We'll keep him going here. So Kyler Gordon, you talked about him. Highest paid nickel in the NFL. Am I right?
No, right? You are. You are, yeah.
I think it's high impact.
I think high. Yeah, I think we'll go high. No. I think it's high. I think it's high. I like that one. He plays a premium position. It's becoming more premium the more pass heavy the offense the NFL gets. So he was locked on last year, and he's a great nickel blitzer. So I love it.
Rome.
Yeah, I'm putting high impact. I think he has
really?
a breakout. I'm putting a hot take. Hear me out. I think we leave this upcoming season saying, not that DJ's bad. I don't think that. But I think we're going to walk away, and some people are going to be like, oh, yeah, Rome's wide receiver 1 going into the following season.
We need that to happen.
100%.
Why he was drafted.
I think it's like a clear – not that means you're trading DJ or getting rid of DJ. No, I still think DJ can easily get over 1,100 yards this year. Easily. That's not like Rome is taking away from DJ.
Tier 2, players who can single-handedly shift games, elevate team performance. Rome is the definition of that. He's a top 10 pick. I want more out of him. And I expect we see that this year, especially with Ben Johnson.
Funny
Montez
comment.
Sweat.
Wait a second, real quick. Rudy Pfaff before said, Ficky, is Jack paying you to say that? No, he's not. And funny enough, Jack has Rome in our dynasty league, and I was trying to trade for him. So Jack definitely knows how much I think Rome is going to do well this year.
Montez Sweat. I'm going to go most important. I think we need a huge bounce back here with him. And I think the players around him will help, adding some guys around him that can actually rush, Grady Jarrett. I think he's super critical. If you gotta be able to get to the quarterback in this league.
But Willie, you know what though? I literally just put an article.
That's why I'm saying it's not Willie. I think he needs to. If he doesn't, we're in huge trouble.
Fair.
That's why
I'll go with that because I put out an article today, literally before the show, about the defensive line and the projections I think are going to happen. And I'm pretty sure I had him at like 10 to 12 and a half sacks. And that is most important. So if he has a season like he did when we first traded for him, I agree he can belong up there. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he's fully healthy and ready to go.
Andrew Billings. Well, we got to be quick if we want to get to this.
High impact. Yep. High impact.
Okay.
I 100% agree. You saw what happened when he got injured. The defense went from first to last in run defense.
Ryan Poles. I know GMs don't play a lot into this season, but he does make mid-season trades, which can be very, very impactful.
He's a GM. GM head coaching QB is – I'd put him behind head coach. Yeah.
Okay. DJ.
High impact above Rome.
Okay. Let's see here. Javon Dexter.
I like this one. Let's go solid contributor. I think he's going to have a really good year this year, like being consistent. He had 5.5 sacks last year. I can see him getting 7 to 9. And he was second against defensive tackles on what QB hits or QB pressures. So I'm putting him there.
Okay.
I put him right in the very front or right behind Kevin Byard. And then I'd put Javon third. Like, I think he's right up. He's in the top tier.
Okay. And we can switch that in a little bit. Tremaine Edmonds.
I think you got it. He's
high impact. He has to be.
Yeah.
For what we paying him. This is his last year. I think last year,
right,
essentially, with us, unless we extend him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Torrey Taylor.
Solid contributor.
He was a high impact last year.
Yeah, you're a punter though. Yeah, we should not as Caleb said when he got drafted. Don't expect to be punting much. Like that's what I want. Sorry, if he never sees the field on Sunday.
So solid.
Yeah.
Okay. Tremaine Edmonds.
Or sorry, not Tremaine.
TJ Edwards.
TJ Edwards. I'm putting him high impact. He's had 2 seasons now where he's that dog. So
above Tremaine.
Yes, he's outperforming.
I agree.
So
I agree. Eric Benamy, running backs coach.
Solid, but like at the end?
Yeah. Above Torrey. No. He's on the field. Torrey's on the field. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see here. I wanted to go through some of
that's Declan Doyle right there. We could do that one.
Yeah.
Right there. I think I'm going to put him.
He's OC, man. It's pretty important.
I'm going to put him above Bieniemy because he's doing all the tape watching.
Yeah, and it's still Ben Johnson. Yeah.
Right. He's doing the stuff, the tedious work that Ben Johnson would do when he's an offensive coordinator. So he's basically his right-hand man when it comes to the offense. So I think he actually has a big contribution here.
This is the quarterback, Austin Reed.
Oh yeah, just put him. He's gonna be
non-factor. Practice
yeah.
squad. Tyler Scott. Oh, sorry.
No, non-factor.
Non-factor.
Sorry to say it.
High on the non-factor. Okay. Did you want to grab somebody? I was gonna grab.
No, I want to Grady Jarrett. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm gonna put him solid contributor. I think, but he's gonna be near the end.
What about? Can I do wild card? What can I convince you to do wild card?
What is his
players with high potential but significant uncertainty? He's older, injury. Some say he doesn't look the same since he got injured in Atlanta.
He had decent pressures last year. Okay, I can rock with that.
High wild card.
Yeah, I can rock with that.
Okay, what were you gonna do?
Go to do a coach I think we can put up high. Go right there, bald man. Let's go. Rushar, fourth from the top.
Fourth. Oh, offensive line?
Yes. High impact. This offensive line has been garbage for years. And I think he is going to be
the key
piece to get. I mean, obviously the players we traded, the GM Ryan Poles did a good job, but getting the offensive line right is the missing piece of this offense. It's the missing.
About Al Harris?
I'm gonna put him solid, but like higher up, like maybe behind Declan. Do Declan behind Declan.
Yeah, I think just because they're not above him.
Yeah,
and then Antoine Randall L.
Assistant head coach, high impact. Ben Johnson picked you, brought you up from Detroit.
Yeah,
I'm actually putting you behind Dennis.
Okay,
but
I like that. Yeah,
coaches have to be at the end, right? Unless it's Ben Johnson, of course.
Yeah, if they're not on the for sure. Who is this Dio?
Which one? I can't.
No, that's Dio. This is Dio. Sorry, Dio out of Bengal.
Wild card, right? Like he didn't have great sack numbers last year. I think he only had 4, but he had like 39 pressures, which is pretty decent. So does he have but is it super high?
They paid him like he needs to be. But I think it's a wild card too, because I have no idea what to expect. And that's what, I mean, him and Grady Jarrett are going to be a direct impact on how really good of a season Montez Sweat has.
You need all those people to click.
Yeah.
Just like the offensive line. You need multiple players it's a unit. So,
yeah. So, okay. Let's go ahead and pull some more up here.
Boy,
gosh, some of these names.
Bro. We're getting slim pickings.
Hold on. I know there's some players over here that, here we go. Roshan Johnson.
Because he's normally RB3. He's RB2 this year. Is he going to contribute? You would think. Ben Johnson loves his dual running back.
Depth is younger rotational players with potential to contribute, but not yet in major roles. Tier 3, solid contributor, reliable player who performs their roles well, but lack elite impact or game-changing ability. I think that's Roshan.
Yeah, I think so.
Above Torrey?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Okay. I need to pull up my thing here, but I think there's some more over here. Karan Amagaji.
Depth. You got your offensive line, so you can't be non-factor. You're just not. You're going to play at some point, so you got to be depth.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be fun to watch his competition. God, why is this right guard?
Pryor? No, Jonah Jackson.
Jonah Jackson.
Jonah Jackson. Sorry, Pryor's
this is huge. He's a starter.
Yeah, solid contributor. Oh, you're going high impact.
I think
he is a starter.
Huge.
You're right.
Inside that interior is so important. I would almost put him above. He's got to be above Santos. Santos, no offense. The back here, I think he's very important. Not as much as Billings, but he's more than a linebacker. I think.
Probably, yeah. Because
the interior is just so important for a young quarterback.
No, the impact of that position alone, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Okay. Let me pull some more over here.
Depth. You have him right there.
Where?
Owens. 2 more right. Nope. Right. Go right.
Oh, Jonathan Owens?
Yeah, Jonathan Owens.
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna be depth.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, is that what's his name's brother? Sewell, the lighter one.
Noah Sewell. Yeah. I have some of these names. Noah Sewell. Am I missing somebody? Like big players? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No. Actually, you know what? He's linebacker 3, so I'm gonna put him at depth. That means he's gonna get on the field.
I don't think that's wild, man. I wish we would have kept Jack Sanborn, dude.
Oh yeah, but he got a pretty decent deal in Dallas. So
not huge, just like less than $3 million.
Not huge. But remember, we only have like $14 million right now, so we would have been really dwindled down. If we signed him.
Okay. Gosh, I have these names here. Let me see if I can find them.
How about this? Richard Hightower, you know him.
Special teams coach.
Yeah, special teams. I would put him. I would say it is high impact, right? You're you're a coordinator. It's important.
I would say at the very back,
very end. Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to make this small and smaller, guys. So we apologize. We're getting more players here.
Too, yeah.
Who is he? Right here. Do you see my arrow?
No, I don't. I do not see it.
Oh, right here. Let me grab him. I put him on non-factor.
Dog, who is that?
Hold on. We're gonna seem so stupid when I'm looking at.
That's Hippolyte, the rookie.
Yes, the rookie, Ruben Hippolyte. Thank you. Yes. Wild card, depth.
I don't think wild card. I think he's going to be a non-factor this year because I think he's going to be special teams only.
Okay. This is the running back.
Yes, it is.
Non-factor.
Be non-factor.
Hell is his name though? Come on now. He got cut last year.
Yeah,
Ian Wheeler.
Ian Wheeler, who did well in preseason. You remember Hard Knocks? The whole episode for him.
Yeah. JT Barrett, quarterback's coach.
I think it's important, right? It's who Caleb's talking to every
Most
day.
important?
A solid contributor. I think it's above the enemy.
Yeah, I agree too. I don't think below Declan.
I think Al Harris is probably a more pristine coach, so he's probably going to have a bigger impact, but I'm fine where he's at. It's fine. Like that area is just coaches at the end.
Yeah. This is Ryan Bates, believe it or not. Is he still on the roster?
Yeah, he is.
I think he is. Yeah.
He is.
Well, I mean, I got this from the Bears website. So, depth.
Yeah, depth.
Above the quarterbacks, above Sewell.
Linemen, so they got to be up top. Yeah, above John.
Yeah. And that's okay. Kyle Manungai. Oh.
But is wild card though? I'm thinking wild card.
No, he just ended up being there. I was throwing him on him.
I don't think his ceiling is like that high.
No.
I think depth for now, bro. We got to until I see otherwise.
Yep.
You're a 7th round pick. No disrespect to you in any sort of way, but it's just.
No, I agree. If you not recognize any of these,
that was Doug Kramer, right? Or no, Kramer is right.
No, that was Bates. Kramer is I can tell you, remember, I have these. Thank God I wrote this stuff, or I got these down. So he is right here, Doug.
Which one? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right
yeah, that's Doug. Doug's
right?
Yeah.
Played pretty well too last year.
Put him above. All those offensive linemen should be in the front. So
okay.
Way up, yeah, because they're more likely going to be on.
Yeah.
There's talking about offensive lineman, the Canadian boy, Theo Benedict. It's the 4th from the right, all the way on the right, 4 over. The one on Hard Knocks that's saying.
Are you sure that's Theo? This is Theo? Yeah. I think this is a tight end, man.
Oh, is Theo a tight end? I thought he was offensive.
No, who was this? Hold on, I'm trying to look at my player roster here.
So hard to see.
Let
me see. Is that? Yeah, that's Theo.
Really?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, the 4th from the right. That's Theo.
You sure that's not? Oh no. Okay. This is Bill Murray right here. We'll put him offensive too.
Yeah.
Is that Theo? How do I not have him on my list? Theo.
He got him in there, so
I guess so.
Yes, Theo Benedict. So I'd put him also depth.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I'll put him on depth here. I don't even know how I had him there. Because I don't even have his like photo saved here on the roster sheet. Okay.
God,
this is Terrell Smith, right?
Oh, Terrell?
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's going to be high depth, I think.
Solid contributor. Oh, high depth.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think he's starting. So
yeah, below.
Yeah, probably below
lineman.
Yeah, it's fine. Like the order's not too crazy.
Yeah. Help me out here if you have it. Oh, I have a big one. Zacchaeus. Is this guy? Yeah, Alameda. Yeah. Solid contributor for sure.
You think so? He's wide receiver. He might be wide receiver 3. You're right. He might be.
I think reliable players perform the roles well. He did that in Washington.
He did. He had a great year last year in Washington.
I think
I put him there. I'll put him there. I put him behind Braxton.
Above Roshan.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Za Frazier is the one at the very end, I'm pretty sure. Isn't that Za? The rookie we just drafted? Yeah, that's him at the very end on the right.
Za Frazier?
Yeah, the very end.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to. Oh, there's my Za Frazier. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I did have Theo on here. My bad.
No, you're
Theo
good.
Benedict.
You're
right.
Za. Depth? Yeah, I think depth.
Yeah, I think depth.
Probably behind Terrell. Or behind Jonathan, because Jonathan actually gets on the field. So we don't know about where he's going to go. Jonathan's keep going right. Yeah, like right there. Right
okay.
There.
Okay.
Okay, now we're getting down to.
Wait, this is Travis Homer.
Okay, he actually plays. So I would put him depth high depth behind offensive lineman because he does get on the field.
Okay.
Yeah, any of those spots is fine. Yeah.
I think he'd be very key. Yeah, he can be very key. Okay. This one we should know. Dude, we forgot the starting center.
Bro, Dahlman. I'm like, why does that guy look familiar?
Doesn't he look like an impact player, dude? He just looks like he's He's been looking at me, and I'm like, man, he looks like he's important, right? He looks like plays a solid position. Yeah. So I'm like, nah. I just kept on pushing to the center.
Just a top 5 center in the NFL. Drew Dahlman is high impact. I'm putting him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny to me.
For a team that has not had a good center, and it feels like eons, he's high impact. That's why you paid him the big bucks.
Behind DeAndre,
I'm putting him in front. Yeah, I'm putting him there.
Yeah, I like that too. Oh, that's so funny. I just kept looking at it the whole show. I'm like, damn, is he fucking important? Some of these guys, I know one's Kalo's best friend that I included on here. Elijah Hicks, right here.
That's what he looks like. Okay. He's good depth. I'd put him I'd put him near Jonathan Owens because he's gonna get on the field.
Okay.
Hicks has played enough.
You said that's what he looks like. That's funny.
Oh yeah, where's Dom Rob? Rudy Pfaff said Dom.
I got you. He's on here. He's one of these.
He's the first one, isn't he?
Yep, Dom. There you go. Dominique had a huge. He was, huh? Yeah, I like wild card because he can be impactful. Well, is he that impactful? Oh man, I might have to go depth.
That's projection. Go depth. Go depth.
You have your arrow though.
Go depth. No, because I'm like, I don't think he's gonna like go
on here. Okay.
Oh, and we already did Tyler Scott, Rudy.
Is this Zach Pickens?
Non-factor.
Zach Pickens.
Yes, it is. Non-factor, bro.
He's a second rounder, man.
I know. We ain't seen anything from him. 2 years, we haven't seen anything from Zach Pickens.
I agree.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I want to see more. He was a second or third rounder. He went after Javon, right?
He was a second. That's why it's such a miss.
Crazy.
Let me check me. Yeah, check me on that.
You're good. You're good. No, I trust you.
Josh Blackwell.
He got to be depth, high depth. Josh Blackwell's been on this team for decades. It feels like.
Yeah. Okay, this last player. Jackson. He's something, isn't it with a J?
Is that Caleb's friend?
John Jackson, yeah. Not Vector. He was practice squad all last year.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Dude, we did it. We did all 64 people on that list. Okay, guys. There is our 2025 Chicago Bears tier list, impact tier list. From most important to high impact, solid contributors, depth, wild cards, non-factors. We're going to post this on our social for the Bears Film Room socials, and I'm sure this will get a little stir. If you can, hit that like button, subscribe. Vicky, let's end this one with our Patreons and show some love there. Again, if you enjoyed this tier list, hit that like button, subscribe, and we have a really fun episode next week as well. But again, we're going to post this, and I'm sure it'll be fun to talk about in the comments. Vic.
Absolutely. We'll go through this quick. First off, if you watched the whole episode, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. On your way out, just like and subscribe so we can keep growing this channel on the way to 10K, because we're really trying to build up this fan base, because the BFR podcast is the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Dave and I and Jack are fans just like y'all. Through the thick and thin, we have fun looking at all these players, trying to figure out who some of these people are that just joined the team. Shout out to Drew Dahlman. Sorry on that one. But, this is the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. So we really want to make sure we can find more awesome fans like y'all and keep growing this community. If you want to be a part of that community, you can join our Patreon. That's the BFR Den on Patreon. We have monthly giveaways at the end of every month. We have access to our private Discord, mailbag episodes, special merch, and much, much more. Any new content we drop in there. Bunch of great stuff. Like we said, we always do our private Zooms as well on there. So make sure to head over to Patreon if you want to join. We do have a free tier. I saw someone joining that this week as well. Shout out to you. And then we also have 2 other tiers, our Hall of Fame tiers. We got to give them a shout out. Michael from across the pond, Gage, Phil the Fourth. We got Michael Berry Sr., Thomas Whitty, and Tito. Shout out to you, Hall of Fame Grizzly members. When they join since they're Hall of Fame Grizzlies, they get the top tier, which means they get private Zoom calls with Dave, Jack, and I every month. Forever, right? So it's awesome to be a part of that. You also get everything that's in the lower tier, which is still packed with tons of value. The rookie Grizzlies, shout out to them, Alex, Chris, Jason, and Caleb. We really do appreciate that. That still gives you access to the private Discords, the mailbags, the monthly giveaways, special merch, all that type of stuff. So want to give a shout to them. Also, if you want to support us, you want to look fly this summer, impress the ladies, impress the fam, you can go to the BFRstore.com. We have new hats, hoodies, shirts, mugs, bunch of great stuff. Also, if you join the Patreon, we give some of this away every month. Every month. You just got to join, and that's it. Costs like $3 a month, $10 a month. If you want to buy some merch, we really do appreciate that. We had some purchases come in this past week, so shout out to y'all. We really do appreciate all the love and support, because again, this is the #1 show for the fans, by the fans, the BFR podcast, the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. So we really do appreciate all the love and support. And Dave, kind of didn't mention this at all, and I kind of forgot about it. 150 episodes we did on our last one. This is episode 151. So again, shout out to y'all, because that's crazy to even think about. For those of y'all who have been with us since episode 1, go look at that episode and you're gonna be like, holy cow. And we're still growing over here, updating things, trying to bring more value to y'all. If you notice, we have a new, cleaner up layout as well. So we're always just trying to improve the show. All the donations and contributions, whether it's Patreon, whether it's super chats on here, buying something from the merch store, literally all that just comes back in so we can keep giving you guys fire shit. So again, we're trying to make this the #1 show for the fans, by the fans, because y'all freaking rock, and we love y'all, and we appreciate y'all being here on a wonderful Thursday. Jeez, I didn't even know what day it was. Thursday.
Yeah, being off today for the most part. I mean, it is a little weird being it Thursday, because now we go back. It's Friday. Got one more day before you hit the weekend. So I'm excited though for next week's show. Like I said, it's going to be very, very fun. Last one of the month, and then it's training camp month. July will be here, so we're super stoked.
They just announced the dates too, right? July 19th, rookies report, and then July 22nd, veterans. So that means
Absolutely.
They'll open up to the public probably that 22nd, right?
They do the first 3 or 4 practices, of course, will be just closed and without it, and then they'll open it up. So yeah, within that first timeline.
Weekend. Yeah, probably that first weekend or second week, like midweek, like a Wednesday or something. I think it was last year. I can't remember, but I think Wednesday was the first open practice they did, like the following Wednesday. Was that the 25th or something like that? We'll see. But stay tuned for that because that'll be fun. I'm sure all the tickets will disappear like that. But
yes. And I'll always have a couple extras that we can give away. So if you guys are looking to, if you don't get one, don't snag one, you can go ahead and reach out to me. And I'm sure I'll have some as well. So, but before we go, shout out to Ficky, hit 10,000 followers on Twitter.
Appreciate it.
That's pretty sick. Shout out to you guys as well for making that happen. And DBB as well, helping out. Just hit the 10K. Now I think you're at 10.1, which is really, really cool. So
it's cool.
Show is growing. Socials are growing. Check out the TikTok. All the links will be in the description. Hope you enjoyed this. I already tweeted out the Chicago Bears tier list. If you like it, go comment, and we'll be back next week.
Dave's article, Dave and I's articles as well. You have to say, make sure you check the articles that we post on there too. Bunch of great content, especially in this dull time. You want some good stuff to read. We got it for you.
All your Chicago sports news, sportsmockery.com. Also the Cubs. There's so many great Cubs articles out there right now. They're so fun. Of course, yes, check out our work. We have a lot of off-season articles coming your way until training camp, until we lead up to that point. So I'm super stoked. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll be back next week. Bear down.
Peace.